Welcome to Friends Like Us. I'm Marina Franklin, here for you. This is alive and no one's watching right now, but on the playback, you'll see that I'm singing up front. Okay, so it's just me today, and then Juskow will be joining as always. And I am very happy to be here. This gives me some time. Evelyn is enjoying the weather. No, she has plans. She has a life. She has a life without us. But anyway, if you're just joining me for the first time and you don't know why I do this every Saturday unless, something comes up, like I have a show on the road or it's good weather, but we're fairly consistent. We've been doing this now for over a year where I'm here on YouTube live. That's the best place to watch it. Or you can go to Facebook. It's on Facebook. It's also on Twitch. But really, I'm just here to tell you about my podcast. It's called Friends Like Us. So this YouTube is to promote the podcast. This is not the actual podcast. However, we do dive into some topics. Today we'll probably talk about the coronation. We'll talk about that and we'll get to some other topics. I haven't really been paying attention though. I'm gonna be honest. I've tapped out of the news. It's been a tough week in New York City if you haven't been paying attention. But you know what helps? Listening to Friends Like Us. Yes, Friends Like Us. It's a podcast that features women of color. Look, my mouth wasn't caught up with what I wanted to say, but it's a podcast that features women of color talking about hot topics. Okay. And once a month, we have a guy or a white. It's like our monthly cycle. Okay. But this past month, it's been all women and amazing women. I would say of all of the episodes, this past month has had some of the most productive episodes because they are women who are very active in getting the work done that we need to get done. Feminists, we had the Global Fund for Women. Imagine that, a fund for women, where they just go, hey, women, you need money. Here you go. And we also have, right now, we have a guest on from Museum Hue, which is a museum that centers on people of color, indigenous lives. And it's about telling that story that they don't want told, And it's a great episode because we do talk about how you grapple with, the fact that there are artifacts in museums that have been stolen, kind of like what is going on at the coronation right now. Everything are they going to return their items, while he's walking around, while everyone's struggling in the UK right now? Is he going to, it cost over, I believe, $1 billion for them to just say, hey, you the king. So, and they're really struggling in the UK because of the war in Ukraine, obviously. It really directly affects the UK. So I know what I'm talking about. Not really. I have the outline of what I'm talking about. So there. I will look at your chat in a second. I just want to get these things out. But welcome, everybody, to Friends Like Us. It's in the chat. How to follow, how to listen. All of the platforms are there for you. It's a really great conversation this week with the young lady, Stephanie. Stephanie. I'll go with Stephanie because I can't think right now. But Stephanie from Museum Hue, which is talking about the funding of museums that focus on persons of color and indigenous folks. And it's a really good way to find out what is going on. There's a lot of organizations that are centered on Black lives that are not receiving the funds that they need. And it's not a museum like, I guess she called it CIG museums, like, MoMA. Those are the ones that they're getting funding more than her museum. I hope I put that right. Yes. Well, you got to listen to the episode because the episode has all of the facts. It has all the information in it. It's one of my favorite episodes, actually. The one previous to that was another really great episode that I had with a young lady. She's called the Seated Nurse. You can find her on Instagram, the Seated Nurse. And her episode, oh my God, you know, like I didn't know that disability does not come in caregiving. And she is a caregiver. Okay. She's a caregiver. And imagine that. Like, imagine you're in the hospital and someone is taking care of you that does not understand what you're going through. As well, she talks about New York City, the accessibility, the amount of lawsuits in New York City, but she loves New York. New York City, Chicago, different places, curb cuts, you know. I don't know how many times I've been in New York and I see women struggling getting up the stairs with a stroller or just disability, trying to walk, trying to get from A to B, trying to live their lives, trying to have a job, right? By the way, most of us will be actually I can't say it. Oh my God. Most of us will encounter disability at some point in our lives, but don't wait until that time to be empathetic. Good evening, Stuttgart, Germany. Thank you, TB, for being here. Mike Decoy, George Shili, Sarah. Is there a podcast episode for Black women who are filmmakers or creatives? That's a very good question. We'll try to get one for you. We have had, however, several guests on the show who are actresses who have been on several shows on Disney Plus. We had a young lady who's on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air episodes. That's on that's on Peacock, Disney Plus. We've had actresses. We had I can't I'm not rolling with the names right now today. It's menopause. Menopause does that. I have brain fog. I'm going to blame it on that and not the fact that I had sativa at 7:30 in the morning. But if you go through the episodes of Friends Like Us, which is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, it's on iHeartRadio, it's on, I think, Pocket Cast, if you're a Google person. There's several ways to listen to it. It's in that link tree. And you can see the descriptions there. And they tell you like who's on the show, what we're talking about, and then you can just go from there. Now, we've had we probably will have coming up someone who talks about creatives, and it's such a good question. And filmmakers, I'm going to focus on getting that for you, Sarah, because I think it's a wonderful, 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 wonderful idea to have someone on the show that does talk about it. I have so many friends. I know everybody. I know so many people. Last night I was talking to Roy Wood Jr., who, by the way, killed it at the correspondence dinner. Oh, and I was telling him how everyone's like, do you know Roy? Do you like, they talk to me, and it's so funny because I know all these people, but I don't like to name drop. And then like, it's weird to know someone before they become the name drop, because you're just talking about people and then all of a sudden everyone knows them, and now you're name dropping, right? But I get all these people on the show, and they come on because they're good friends of mine. They've years of doing stand-up comedy. They've been hustling just like me. It's just every now and then everyone gets to see them a little bit more. So it's a wonderful thing. And then I have them on the show. This week, coming up, I have Fraction on the show, and it's all comedians. It's a really good episode. Mia Jackson, and I have Akeem Woods, who tours with Godfrey. I don't know if you noticed. I was on Godfrey's Epps podcast this past week. I don't know if they put anything up because I was half asleep because he does it really late, but hopefully they do put some clips up. That was interesting. Hadn't thought about some of that way before. Oh, hadn't thought about what. Now I'm going to look at the chat for a second and respond to you because I can't. I am not a multitasker. Okay, I need to check those out. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, I've always said we are all temporarily enabled. Yes. Yes, Sarah. Yes. It may take years, but eventually we all need some help. I agree. Oh, TB saying that. Sorry. I gave it to Sarah. Hello, Robin. Hello. You know, I forgot how to say hello. It's been a while. What else? Yes, tune in when it's made, but don't just wait for that episode. Get familiar with this past month. Just look at this past month with all of the artists we've had on. Incredible. I can't even believe I'm getting women like this. Global Fund for Women, The Seated Nurse, a woman who takes care of others while she herself is in a wheelchair, and she tells a really amazing story on that episode. And this week, Stephanie from Museum Hue talking about fundings for museums and the lack thereof. And also, she maps out museums that focus on people of color. It's interesting. It's kind of like the Green Book, but for museums. And, there's a thing going on where they're trying to erase our history, right? Or Black history, I should say. They don't want to tell it. They don't want to see it. They don't want books. They want the books. Well, that's why these organizations are very important. Also to the podcast. Hey. Oh, that's right. Hey. Hey, Robin. Hey. Hey. All right. I think the man is here. So just to remind you again why I do this, is Friends Like Us podcast. This is not the podcast. This is to promote the podcast. We've been doing this for over a year. It's just fun. Every Saturday, I have all these subscribers on my YouTube channel. Why not? Why not talk to you? If you're on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You could still see it on Facebook, but it's better if you see it on YouTube and also on Twitch. Okay, but see it. Subscribe to the YouTube and definitely subscribe to Friends Like Us. Now I'm bringing on the man. Definitely the myth. What is he? Is he a legend? I don't think so. Hello.
I'm a New York legend, a New York comedy legend.
New York comedy legend.
No,
I expect I may freeze because I haven't rebooted my.
I see
whatever.
that it's happening now.
Is it?
Well, thank you, DJ Eric Prince. I am a legend to my students. After you bring in Paul Rudd like that, then forever I will be a living legend. As long as
I'm
Paul Rudd
freezing?
is remembered.
Am I freezing?
A little bit, but you're also like a little pixelated too. You're coming in a little hot.
I'm pixelated?
Now you're frozen. That face. You just froze like this. It was great. Look what I bought yesterday.
I should have rebooted my router. I just wasn't in the mood. Oh my God. Circus penis?
Circus peanuts. You're the only other one person I know that likes them.
I don't like them.
I thought you did like them.
No, I think it's crazy that you like them. I don't remember saying I like them.
Well, maybe it's what you said. You think it's crazy that I like them. I'm the last person that likes them, me and my sister. We went to see a production of Oliver on Thursday night at City Center. And I always bring a snack with me for intermission, and I bought circus peanuts. Meanwhile, on Wednesday night after I finished drinking, I bought circus peanuts and strawberry soda. There's a good combination when you're high.
I can see myself now when I freeze to see if I'm lying.
You see, if I'm lying, you're saying.
I mean, you're lying, yeah.
I would never lie to you about that. That's pretty serious.
Ugh. I hate when I freeze.
Yeah, but you're only freezing for a couple of seconds. But you do look different today. Why is that? Like, I mean, the podcast isn't as crisp. Why?
Maybe it's a memory issue.
So you have to restart, and you think it'll be better.
Yeah,
Like your camera's not as clear. That's all.
it looks clear to me. I'm looking at it from my phone and it looks fine.
That's not everybody. I'm not
That's
crazy, right?
pixelated. You're the one that's pixelated. I think you're the one that's causing the freezing problem.
Well, that could be, but
It looks like she has a lot of contrast. Yes.
yeah, exactly. You're a little brighter today than normal.
Well, see, I'm looking at it on the phone and you're the one.
Really, I find that
Yeah.
very difficult to believe.
You find everything difficult. You know what?
I'll
This
take a
morning I
look.
saw Tamara at the farmer's market. Tamara, are you here?
Oh,
And
Tamara from the show.
and she was like, what is up with Dave?
I'm looking at it online now. I see myself as clear.
It must be your phone likes you. It looks just white.
I don't know. I see you look clearer on YouTube, but I look really clear.
I know what I'll do. I'll turn off my light.
Or maybe that's all.
How's that? You
Oh,
guys like this? Is this
yeah.
better?
Now it's more like you have it every week.
I've had the light on every week.
Well, then I got nothing for you.
I have sunscreen on and it gives me a kind of a glow.
I'm making margaritas today after this podcast, frozen ones at my house.
Oh, let's see.
See?
Maybe I should restart.
He says, my Fire TV, Dave is clear and Marina's fuzzy. Thank you, Tibby.
Well, we can't have that.
I'm just saying, I wasn't. Not
All right, you
lying
stay
to
on. I'm going to make you the guest
Uh-oh.
or team member. Let's see here. Invite. Oh, God, this could be deadly.
That'll be great.
And
Well,
then
look, but you're fine. You're fine. There's no reason to.
I'm freezing, though, right?
You were. You haven't been in a while. And when you freeze, it's really for seconds.
I don't like that. I don't want to freeze even for a second.
Says you look fuzzy to me too. But I don't think anybody really cares.
I care in the playback when they play it back.
All right, now you're frozen again, but now you're not.
See? Can't have that.
All right, I'll stay on. I'll take care of everything.
All right, I will be back. Let me just.
I'll tell the people of why.
I just sent an invite that made you a team member, which we know you're not a team. You're not a team player.
What?
And I'm so afraid that I did that because you should have gotten the email. Did you get it?
Do I need it now? Like, do I have to re-put on or something?
I don't know. Never mind. Let's see. I'll be back.
Yeah, you gave me a thing. Do I need to rejoin the podcast? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so.
Well, why'd you send it then?
So you can do stuff while I'm gone.
So I need to switch. I need to click on that now.
Is it asking you to switch? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
On it. Just see what happens.
Okay.
I'll stick around.
I have to like log in or something.
Oh, Stacy says it's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
And TB says it's fine. And Robin says I look good enough.
Well, you do. Everything's fine.
Yeah, so we'll just stay here.
Now, meanwhile, in the show Oliver.
Oh no, I don't want to hear about that at all. Hey, so
I thought you liked musicals.
I mean, I don't really care about Oliver. Nothing
well,
about Oliver.
I want to tell you something that's important to the podcast.
Oh, is there a black person playing Oliver?
Oh God, no. That would be fine. No, there's a black woman playing Nancy, but she's wonderful. I saw her in Tootsie, but that's not the case, and I really couldn't care less about something like that. But because there are certainly shows where you kind of get angry when they make a switch because it won't make sense. But Oliver, to me, isn't one of them. I mean, I guess unless Oliver. I guess it would be awkward if the Artful Dodger or Oliver was black, but I don't think anybody cares at this point, only because they just didn't have black people in those workhouses back then. But anyway,
Oh, you are getting away with stuff because I'm not really listening. What you say, mofo?
this has nothing to do with being black. This is about being a woman.
A
So they have
worker.
the workhouses. So this woman Nancy in the show is dating like the worst character in the show, like a villain and a murderer and a thief and a horrible person. And she has a song that says he needs me. It's a legendary song from Oliver saying he needs me. So it's a song about her staying with this guy that is completely abusive to her and will eventually kill her. And that song needs to be somehow rewritten. It's the worst statement in the history of musical theater. That's all I'm saying. It's like,
Problematic.
and it can be redone in a different way where it would make a little bit more sense because you are not feeling for this character because you're just like, she's a fucking idiot. She does, that we understand. We can make a case for her having to be with this guy because she has nothing else and she's poor and she's lived this life. But you can't make a case for her just staying with him because he needs me. It's not a good statement. But it has nothing to do with her being black. It just happens the actress is black. That's all.
I see. Well, show me. Isn't that a way of showing like, do we start rewriting plays now?
Well, that's the thing. I hate that too, right? But this one just seems like it's a horrible lesson for any woman or little girl in the audience.
You're saying it's just not. It's not relevant anymore. It's not with the. It's. What's the purpose?
I don't know. It's just such a horrible message. So I guess it's the same feeling as something that would make me mad that somebody wants to change and they won't do it anymore. And you're like, but how you can't? It changes the whole complexity of the show. But I'm saying that I don't believe a small character rewrite would change the complexity of the show. We need to be more told of why this woman stays with him for different circumstances, not because he needs her. It's just not good enough. We also know he eventually murders her, so it's bothering the shit out of me. After I came home for the play, I watched the movie and felt similar. Meanwhile, that actress was awful in the movie. So I had to watch the movie because I was fascinated that it won Best Picture in 1968. And I used to do a bit, and I don't know if we knew each other back then, Marina, where I used to do a bit about the fact that Vietnam was going on, the fact that Martin Luther was assassinated, and all these people were assassinated back then. And then Oliver wins Best Picture. So I used to talk about the horrors of Vietnam and MLK, and then start singing "Consider Yourself." However, at the Academy Awards, it was "Consider Yourself." I
am freezing.
You're still really worried about that? You're freezing.
Well, I keep seeing how I'm looking on the phone.
It's not bothering anybody.
It's bothering me. When it replays, hold on.
Finally, now I can continue talking about Oliver. Have you ever? My audio still on? Yeah. Anyway, I don't think changing a class player story is needed. They can always make a new original story with the diverse cast. Right. The Little Mermaid has been causing controversy. Yeah. Well, Sarah, you're completely right. They don't need to change it. It's just when you are sitting there listening to that song, it just makes you angry. That's all. And if you think I'm giving spoilers to Oliver, it's from like 50 years ago. You got to see the play or watch the movie. Can you give spoilers for something that happened 50 years ago? I mean, like I've never seen Breaking Bad. If somebody tells me the ending, shouldn't they be able to do so because it's my fault that I haven't seen it and it's been 10 years since it went off the air? 7? What is the years? Yeah, of course, DJ Eric Prince. It's a different writing for a different time. It's just I just feel there's just a couple of tweaks you could make. Just a couple of tweaks. It doesn't have to be in the song. It'd be a couple of tweaks in her character, like one extra line that might change the song. That's all I'm saying, because I don't like when they change anything anyway. I was furious when they did 1776 with an all-female cast. I want to shoot myself. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the Black Little Mermaid. And I love Black Annie. Blanny. And I like when they didn't Kenan Thompson call her Black Annie. Meanwhile, I like that girl who played Annie in Black Annie. And I like calling it Black Annie. Yeah, it's like rewriting history. That's true. But I don't know. And I agree. I have problems with it too. It's just like one word out of the character would just change everything. One line. And they need to change that play anyway because it ends really badly. And sometimes you just have to make changes. As a matter of fact, maybe I should wait for Marina to get back for the movie Harvey. I've never seen the movie. I know that's really bad, Tibby, right? I've never seen Harvey. I have to see that too. Well, that's Sarah. That is why the guy that did Get Out is he's right there, and he's not making enough. He's not making enough movies. Like I like, he's sticking to the horror genre, but maybe he needs to make some other ones and not state like you're saying, create new original stories, not remakes. That guy's what's his name? Guy did Get Out. He was a comedian, Jordan Peele. And he's really terrific, and I think he's got a chance to make a difference. So, because that movie is just, we talk about it all the time, right? Get Out. Because not only was it great as a horror movie, but it's an awesome statement, and it was really funny. That girl who played Annie in Black Annie. I like calling it Black Annie. Hello. Yeah, it's like. Are we back? Hi.
Hi.
I don't know.
I guess I'm trying. I just rebooted. I just had to. I can't like talk. I can't let you
Well,
talk.
it's still bad.
Is it? I think it's you. I think it's your freezing. I think the combination.
Okay, so you're saying the chat room is just lying to all of us.
No, I'm saying like when there's like someone who has bad Wi-Fi crossing with mine. Look, TV says I look better. When yours is crossing. Oh, look. Yeah, see, it was him a whole time.
No, it wasn't. I still look perfect in it when you look a little
don't.
better.
Everyone says I look good. Don't I look fine? So fine. Oh, I'm still freezing. Ugh. I don't know what it is. I have like the best service ever. Oh, so they're telling me that you behaved while I was gone.
Yeah. What's the matter with you? Why are you acting like this?
I know. I heard you talking about Blanny. Was it Blanny?
I think that's what somebody was calling it. But I still like calling it Black Annie.
Black Annie. So, we should talk about the coronation. No one gives a.
I was watching it all day today.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you have some tea while you were watching it?
No, I did. I woke up around 7, so it was over. They were just doing the Jesus stuff, so it wasn't as fun, I guess, as the beginning. But I have CNN on right now, trying to make some trying to see some other stuff, but I haven't seen anything I haven't seen yet.
It's not a good time to be celebrating like colonialism.
Right? It's so stupid. So they had a big protest today about people don't want the monarchy anymore. But that's ridiculous too, because we all know the monarchy doesn't really do anything, and it's just kind of fun. But they don't have any power anymore.
They have money that they need.
They definitely have money.
Definitely struggling right now in
The Royal
London, the UK.
Yeah, well, so are we.
That's cute. A Royal Frata. Yeah, they're struggling more though because there is more connections to Russia than we are as far as
Russia.
Their natural gas and all
I
that.
went to Coney Island yesterday. I wanted to punch everybody in the face.
Were they all Russian?
Yeah, they're all Russian down there, Brighton Beach, that area, I know they have nothing to do with it. It's just this Russian thing is so bad. I don't know. What are we going to do?
I mean, I just feel like no one cares about this one, though. More so.
The coronation, you mean?
I feel like
that's because no one likes, nobody likes the king. The guy who's an asshole. Everybody worshiped Prince Diana. He murdered her. And so everybody fucking hates him. I mean, all you got to do is watch The Crown. You realize what a piece of shit he is. I don't think that's made up. Do you?
No.
Me neither. Yeah, he's kind of a horrible person. and was really mean to Diana, and they treated her like crap, just like they're treating the other one that kind of deserves it, because no one likes Meghan Markle the way they did Princess Diana.
She
And
doesn't
remember when?
deserve to be treated. You think she deserves it?
No,
She does
nobody
not
deserves to be
deserve.
treated the way they're being treated. But to at this point, when there's too much social media going on, to to join in and not expect that kind of treatment, then you're a moron. Like Diana went in, there was no, so she didn't know what she was doing. She went in and she was like
Hey, you watch your mouth.
blindsided.
Don't be calling black women morons.
It has nothing to do with being black.
Even though
This
she
is
just
just
recently found out she was black.
yeah.
That's the funny thing. It's like you want to defend her as a black woman until you watch the documentary. She's like, I never had any problems until all of a sudden I was black. They were like treating me like I was black. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you
Yeah, that's
black.
right. That and the fact
Your
that
mama didn't tell you were
her
black.
complaining about her modeling career, you're just like,
However,
shut the fuck up.
well, there's a whole thing now that's going on with conversations where people, because race has been dominating, because race is a major issue in America, that it's hard to have just regular conversations about someone that's just annoying or someone that is like, for example, the subway situation with the
Yes.
guy who
Remember you and I were on a subway where somebody was acting like that, and of course nobody wanted him to die,
no.
but I don't know why he held him in that chokehold so much, but Jesus Christ, that's so unfair. We've seen these guys before. They're terrifying. They need to be stopped. And if this guy came over and kind of saved the whole train, because you just don't know what that person's going to do, what are you going to do? Yes, he shouldn't have held them that long, but we've been in a train where it's gotten hairy. And if that guy was there, that would have been a good day for us. He picking on that poor mother and her children. That was a scary day for us, and we did nothing, like jerk offs.
You can't do anything.
And now you can't do
Listen,
anything.
let me tell you something though. This situation could have been prevented if our mayor was doing what he claimed to be doing.
What is that? Like, how could it have been prevented?
Protecting people in the subway. I thought that was his whole thing. That his whole thing of
Well,
didn't
he's
the
not, because I take
well,
it every day now, and it's
that's my whole point.
horrible.
That's my whole point. Like, I thought the police just got a raise. They got a raise. Okay. They got a while all of these schools are being defunded, the police got a raise in New York City.
DJ, that's what I think about all the time. That express from 59th to 125th is just too long without a stop for, yeah.
Oh my God. Listen, I was on the subway the day after this happened, and a guy was on there touching people. Like, he was aggressive. His pants were down, his ass was out. But there's no reason for you to take on, vigilante mode and put someone in a chokehold. But this is the thing I'm going to say. There is race that plays into this, but there's so much that's going on with this that we have to discuss, like the crime in the subway, the fact that our mayor is failing us, and the fact that this guy was a Navy SEALs or something. Like, he was I want to say Marine. He wasn't a
Yeah, I
Marine.
think it was one of those things.
He was a vet, so maybe he was even triggered. We don't know. Like, he could have been triggered as a vet, right? And his actions was an overreaction and involuntary manslaughter, basically. And that's what it is. It's like, that's how it's going to be in
Well,
the
they
court
need
of
to
law.
interview all those people on the train, and I haven't heard about that yet. I know they're going to.
They're saying that the guy was not touching anyone. I'm talking about the unhoused individual. I should get his name. And that he didn't physically touch anyone. He was just shouting. He was making people uncomfortable.
You know how scary that is, Marina. We've been through
But
it.
he wasn't physically like
I know, but when do you make a move? How do we know he's not going to be physical?
Yeah, but you don't kill someone.
No, of course not. I mean, it was an accident, but
listen, the law is the law. You don't kill someone. So, here's the thing is, like, what I'm saying is like, the mayor has to be accountable for this on every level, because none of this, the reason this is happening is because he has not done his job. He has that. You remember, Juskow, why were we on the train and this was allowed to happen and go on for so long? And there was the police showed up after the fact. We see them on the platform. They're usually in groups having conversations or on Instagram.
I've seen that too. It's really weird. I've seen them just looking at their phones.
Yes, Stace. But does some ex-Marine get to decide whether someone with an obvious emotional struggle deserves to live?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, no. I
I
mean,
can't believe you
your
thought that.
point is right. Not let's see what Sarah is saying here. I haven't been looking. Just I want more biracial people to claim their true identity.
What?
I
No,
don't.
Sarah says the homeless
I
are
want
becoming
people
more
to
violent and people are too afraid to stand up. I'm with you, Sarah.
I
They
just
are
want to say
becoming more
that
violent,
this
very
I want to
violent.
reply to this comment about biracial people. The only reason is because until America claims them as being what they actually are and treat them the way they need to be
Which is
treated,
gay.
then it's not possible. Okay? Because anyone knows one drop of black, you black. Okay, I'm Ashkenazi, but they ain't taking me. Dave, you want me? See?
I do. I want you as one of us. One of us.
Yes. Let's see, Marine. Okay. Now I left a few. Okay, Sarah. I left a few months into COVID in 2020. People are not tolerating the homeless situation and attacks by homeless addicts and criminals running around. Yeah, people are. Well, they are tolerating it by not killing them and by sitting on the train. That's called tolerate. Like we tolerate it every day we get on the train. We're living here, so we are tolerating it. But what this person did is an overreach. I mean, he killed someone. So you cannot take these. Yeah, like you said, it's sad that someone took the actions into their own hands. It's just really like mental illness is such
Oh, it's
a
right on
complicated.
CNN right now.
Oh, really?
They're talking about it right now. It's developing story. 24-year-old Marine
Well,
veteran
and
in
here's the
chokehold
other
death
issue,
identified. Oh, they
right?
never identified him before?
This is the whole point, Dave. The article, the headlines was they, and I'm doing it right now too. They didn't give him a name. They said, I remember how it came out. They said someone was died, or it was they totally fudged the story on the first day, and it was like the Post, right?
Yeah.
Which is not a friend of my people. So it's like you can always assume like they didn't even look at him as being a human being when they told his story. And this is just like I mean, to me, this is like George Floyd. You have a person who is trained taking someone out who is not okay. You have someone, a Marine is a trained individual who should know not to murder. So, how long that chokehold, he should know. Now, you can't, the people standing around, they probably don't have any, but this guy is a Marine. I don't know. I'm crazy. But it is scary. Look, I am not going to say that fear has led to some situations even with me on the subway where I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I was so happy about it, but I didn't know he had died. I don't think the guy was dead when they first
Oh,
reported.
Jordan Neely. Thank you, Stace. His name is Jordan Neely. Yeah, now we know that who the ex-Marine is, but no charges so far for his murder of Jordan Neely.
If
Thank
that
you.
guy didn't, if he didn't die, the guy would have been a hero. So crazy one way or the other.
It was all Marine hero killing a villain. Not good. Yep. That's how the story came out. It was like he was a hero. He was soldiers.
That's
Yeah.
the way I thought about it.
Oh, so Eric Prince, soldiers are trained to kill, not police. So then he shouldn't have got involved then if he's trained to kill, because this is, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, and aren't cops trained to shoot first, think later? I don't know. It
I
feels
don't
like
think
it.
that's the way they're trained. But
It feels like it.
remember, I told you about cops that it's very rare when they actually have to draw their gun and shoot. And I think that's why some of these things happen, because they don't have a lot of training in the actuality of actually shooting. A cop could go his entire career without unloading his weapon. So that's unfortunately the issue. Thank God, in a way. And that's why I think it gets out of control sometimes. They just get a little nervous and they're not ready. And how do you make them ready? What kind of training do you make for somebody to be ready for a live situation? They do the best they can.
Well, like I said, they just got a whole bunch of money. So there's no excuse anymore as far as I'm concerned. It's like, the whole defund the police thing was so misunderstood. And now not only have they not been defunded, this school that like I talk about all the time, all of these teachers are struggling right now to educate children, keep them in school the right way, take care of children in tier 1 schools, which are already defunded schools, which have parents who are unhoused with kids. So you have a whole domino effect that's going on that is also going to affect mental illness. And so you have, I think for the first time I did see a vehicle on the street that was like for mental illness. And I was the first time it was like, and then I saw actually in West Fourth, I saw some people there with toilet paper and stuff and trying to help. So am I still freezing?
No.
Oh, good. I'm talking like I'm expecting
Well,
a
once in a
freeze.
blue moon, but it's, again, your audio is fine. Like I said, you're still a little hot, like in the sense of a little
I
blurry,
am
but
hot.
you're fine. Don't
Thank
panic
you.
about it.
I'm so hot. Um, but yeah, it's just very fascinating because I always just say we need another mayor. I don't know. I really thought I was one of the few, I guess, who thought this guy was going to do something. And
Well, I didn't think he was the best choice. It's just he was the only choice because de Blasio was worse.
oh,
So I didn't think he was going to make a very good mayor. But what were you going to do? We haven't had a candidate that would be a great mayor. Being a mayor of New York City is a thankless job, and no one's been really good at it. I mean, it's so ironic that Giuliani was the best at it, and then it just so far down. And Bloomberg was pretty good too, even though
well,
people seem to not
Mayor,
like
let me
him. But
just stop you there.
now it's going to be bad for another couple
Giuliani
of
was good
years.
for white folks. He wasn't good for black folks.
Well, he did clean up the town, and yes, maybe he wasn't good for black folks, but apparently neither is this guy.
I'll tell you what.
And this guy doesn't like white people, Eric Adams, as some of the police officers will tell you.
Yeah, the police officers didn't really like him. I've heard some stories, but I don't know. I think he likes himself. I think that's the problem
I
with
think
most.
he definitely likes himself.
That's what's going. Oh, here's
But it's going to
something.
be another 20 years before they
I
find the
got
right guy
something. I
again.
got some. I got into it at the farmers market today. No, you guys need to hear this. And even though I freeze, I'm gonna get it through. Okay. But Tamara was there. Tamara's not gonna be here. But so
Where's
we're
that?
doing this fundraiser, and I want you all to know about it. It's on May 25th at the Harlem Comedy Club, which is the only black-owned comedy club in New York City.
It's not even a real thing. I've never heard of it.
It's Harlem Comedy Club. It's in Harlem. It's a black-owned comedy club. And here's the thing. They are defunding these schools. So we put together a
The
fundraiser.
Harlem Comedy Club's defunding schools.
No, will you
That's the
just
stupidest.
shut up for a second and listen so I could get this out because I'm freezing. So I want to get it out. So because of this school, this one school, it's called PS 180. Okay. This school lost $1 million. It was already poorly, it was already a
Thought I was wearing a shirt.
defunded school.
PS 11.
And what happens is these teachers are not able to go on lunch break. They are not able to do their lesson plan because they're so overwhelmed by the lack of funding. So the kids are suffering in Harlem. A lot of these schools are really because it goes like this: no seats, no fund, right? Well, a lot of the people in Harlem who live here that aren't black, who have their kids going downtown to the rich schools, which, by the way, there are Black people who do this too. They just want their kids to go to better schools. Well, that's good and fine. But all the schools that are here where the kids go to, because they don't have the numbers, they get no money. So we are doing a fundraiser at the Harlem Comedy Club, and you can go to my website, marinayfranklin.com. And if you want to donate, you could donate there. Also, we have 10 open tickets to the community. So you get your tickets fast. There's only 10. And but here's the thing. At the farmers market, I ran into the owner of the Red Rooster. You heard of that?
I've been there before. It's great.
It's not.
It's not?
There's not. There's a lot of Black people in Harlem who do not rave about Red Roosters.
Oh, I had
It's
really
a
good
very
time.
known fact that it's. There's a celebrity, I will not mention his name, who said the food tastes like Band-Aid. Now, I would normally.
I don't know whether you go there for the food. It's like fried chicken and stuff, right? But I think you go there. No, isn't it? Wait, I mean, it was. There was the fried chicken and champagne. That's what I had there.
Of course.
But I thought it was a fun
Look,
place.
look, Eric Prince. Look. See,
Oh.
it's very well. Now the owner of it,
I
Marcus,
guess I was more proud of myself for being at a place in Harlem than I was paying attention. I'm like,
you know,
"Oh, this place
Samuelson.
isn't too bad."
So just hold on, Juskow, so I could get to this point. So you know Samuelson, so I'm about to trash his ass. Okay.
I know him.
No. DJ
Oh.
Eric Prince says I know Samuelson.
Oh, I got
Well,
you.
tell Mr. Samuelson that he can kiss my black ass, okay? Because this morning, Mr. I am too important, okay? But I live in Harlem and I have businesses in Harlem and I'm a Black man in Harlem, talked down to me this morning when I was trying to explain to him about our fundraiser. Now, I get it. Not everyone can be a part of a fundraiser or a community, but the way he spoke to me, we'll never forget it. I will trash his name until the end of day. Okay? When the way he broke it down, he said, "You know what? We've already done enough for the community this year." Really? Not like oh, that's great what you're doing. I wish I could help, but we're strapped. Here's my assistant. None of that. He was like, usually when you do a fundraiser, you have to do this at a certain time. I was like, don't talk down to me. Then on top of that was like, or you could just walk into the restaurant and fill out a piece of paper. I was like, kiss my ass, motherfucker. So I was like, got it. So here's my thing is everyone talks about what they want to do in the community. Everyone talks about equity in Black neighborhoods. But what I don't see is people really being about it. Okay, you don't have to do this, but you could be nice about the fact that you can't do it. And the way that he acted, I will never, ever, 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 ever forget it. Anyway, yeah, not a good person. And on top of that, there was a person who was with Tamara. Tamara was with me. And the person who was with Tamara actually knows him well, comes back to us, and she says, "You saw that exchange, right?" This is before I had mine. And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Did it look like he knew me?" I was like, "No." She's like, "He's bought my artwork. He's actually a member of my family." Could have fooled me. Not a good person. That's all I'm saying. Celebrity chefs don't know how to handle celebrityism. They need a PR person. I don't know what it is. I don't know what gets into their head, but they don't know how to talk to people. So I'm done. And you could tell him for me, Eric Prince. Tell him for me, Samuelson. Your food stinks anyway. That's what I should have said. I don't even like your food. Your food ain't even that good. All right. I know I was freezing through all that. Was I freezing?
I don't know if that's all anyone was talking about in the chat room. I don't think they were listening to the rant. They were only concentrating on the freezing.
I don't see any of that. I could see the comments.
Well, I guess I'm just kidding. You're still worried about the freezing. Don't worry.
It's just
not.
visual freezes. The
You
audio is
remember
fine.
the day I was totally
Thank you.
freezing because my computer sucked? And thank you for
I
telling
think
me
that's
because
what's
now I
happening
have to
today.
get a new one. This is not that.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah, he's not a good person. I will trash him forever.
You're talking about this other guy, not me, right? I'm still here.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah. I focus more on. Oh, you focus. I focus more on black women and girls. We get forgotten a
Me
lot
too.
for
Oh, you're talking about it
pro-black
for a different reason.
causes or events. They're black men centric, and black girls and women get left behind.
What are
Yeah,
we
that's
talking
true.
about?
Oh, look, Tamara here. Wow, you spoke to him. Yeah, Tamara, I did speak to him, and he was an asshole. He was a complete. He talked down to me.
And what's his name?
He
Chuck
was like,
Samuelson?
he was basically no Samuel, Marcus Samuelson. He was basically like,
I'll look him up.
this is how you do a fundraiser. Well, here's the thing. Like, why would you talk down to a person who is actually doing some good like that? You take away their joy. You take away their initiative by talking to them like that. And I don't, it wasn't like I went up to him and I said, hey, stop what you're doing. I was very respectful. I was very nice. I was making my pitch, and he was an ass.
Is he he's the head chef or the owner?
This all went down at the farmer's market. Yes, it did. He is the head guy.
No, but the head chef or the head or the owner of the restaurant?
Look, this is close. Look.
He's an Ethiopian Swedish chef.
He's a.
So he's not like full black.
He's a dick.
Maybe that's the problem. He's half Swedish.
No, he's white. That's what he is. That's what my neighbor said. He's white. When you act like that, you're white. You're basically adopting a white mentality when you act like that.
Says he was adopted.
Yeah, well, and let me tell you, he's white. He's adopting a white mentality.
He's really cute, though. I just looked at a picture of him. He's very sweet.
Then you suck his dick.
Well, it looks like he's married to a kind of a hottie.
Yeah, thank you, Stace. Why be arrogant and rude? Why not be curious and kind? Something going on with, maybe there is something going on. Who knows?
Oh, his wife is ridiculously hot.
Look at your focus.
And they got kids too.
Yeah, they're all beautiful. Who cares? Yeah, he was adopted by a Swedish. There it is. Yeah, I grew up in Highland Park. You don't see me acting a fool.
Fool? Listen, fool.
You a fool.
You a fool.
No, I'm almost done with Succession. I'm almost caught up. Speaking of white evil people.
Speaking of which, that girl Sophia just sent me a text today. I don't, she's crazy. And she said that, why does that have to happen now? The New York Post today, a billionaire was arrested during family feud over art collection reminiscent of HBO's Succession. That's in the Post today. Hubert Newman arrested during bitter family feud over world-class art collection reminiscent of HBO hit Succession.
Yeah, rich people. I saw a Tom Papa's video about rich people. Like, you think you're rich. You don't summer like rich. I loved it because it's like, yeah, very rich people summer, which means like we just wait for, and he says we just wait for the season to happen.
Right.
It's so true. It's like when you watch Succession, it's like, wow, you see how all these people like they set up these places to just make more money and have conversations to make more money and to buy more companies. It's crazy. But Joe broke ass. Look at you.
Oh, Tamara says he is the owner. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It doesn't say, it says he's the head chef, so I wasn't positive.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, like I'm sorry. I didn't answer that. Yeah, he's the owner.
I asked you that.
And he also he owned Street Bird, which was unsuccessful because the food was horrible and it collapsed. And now the new place that's there, which is called Oh, I forget the name of it. It's busy all the time and packed.
Actually, when I went in there, I think I went in there with Sarah, and it was the first time I'd seen her have an alcoholic drink. Like she had
What,
a little champagne.
at Red Rooster?
Yeah.
She had a drink that you've never. She doesn't drink.
No. No, as a matter of fact, we were just talking about this, and she came up with this unbelievably mind-blowing thing. The last time I've been with her both times she's had an alcoholic drink. The first time it was me and Todd Barry and her. We were at the Mercury Lounge, I believe. She had a Bay Breeze or something, whatever, like cranberry juice and vodka. And we had to walk her home. She just kept falling. She had 2 sips of this thing, and she was just on her ass, like all that. We could barely walk her. And after all these years, maybe that was 30 years ago, she realized she was probably roofied. And none of us ever thought about that, because she's like, why would I get that way from 2 sips of a drink, or even from 1 drink? We never even thought about that.
Whoa.
So that was really interesting. She blew my mind. I was like, oh, I never thought about that. I don't remember leaving her alone or anything, but she was just she wasn't Sarah Silverman at the time, but she was a really cute girl, and she was there with 2 idiots who, maybe somebody thought, she's not really with these guys. I could take advantage of her. I don't know. It was fascinating that she thought that, because it never made sense to me.
That is weird.
So that's why seeing her drink again, I was like, wow. And she was perfectly fine. She had 2 sips of champagne, and that was that.
I don't drink.
Her night. Yeah, I hate that about you.
I don't drink.
I don't like it.
I don't have a problem. I just don't drink.
You have a major problem. I know you don't drink. I always wonder.
I'm what you call a teetoddler.
Well, you don't drink, but you're still a heck of a lot of fun to be around.
Teetoddler.
Well, what the good thing about you too is, you have all these kind of hang-ups and stuff. Like you go to a party and wear a mask, and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. We just can't hear you talking. but you don't drink, and you would never know you weren't drinking. Like, you're still super fun. I don't know whether I could be at a party without drinking. It makes me insane to be at that, like the Christmas party at the Cellar, not having had a drink.
Music makes me high.
That's true. That does work for you. Yeah.
It makes, and I also have more fun without drinking. I get headaches and migraines, and the whole week is done for me. It's ruined. And I also, I'm trying to lose weight because I put on all this.
Helpful.
Yeah. The alcohol makes you gain so much weight. And so I'm working out. And
Wednesday, I mixed and met. Wednesday, I had 2 martinis, 2 beers, 2 glasses of wine, and I got high. And that's when I got the circus peanuts and the strawberry soda afterwards.
That's when you got the circus peanuts and the what?
Strawberry soda.
You got the strawberry soda.
Got the Welch's strawberry soda.
Dang. Well, I don't drink. I just smoke. I smoke a lot.
Have you ever drank though? Did you stop drinking, or?
I stopped drinking because when I worked out, when I was lifting with Terry, remember Terry, my old trainer?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping is she's going to go the way of Lois, or Lois will go the way of Terry.
Well, I miss Terry. Terry was great for lifting and stuff.
Sooner or later, you'll be done with Lois too.
And the beautiful thing about Terry though was when I was lifting, I lost a lot of weight, more so than anything. But that was because I stopped drinking. When I was drinking, it was like you worked out and it didn't matter.
So you did. So I've known you since you did used to drink, but now you don't. How many years have you not drank?
It's been like 12.
Oh, 12 years. Wow.
15 years.
Yeah, about the same time Attell stopped drinking too. Although his could be 20 at this point.
Yeah, it's just not. It never made me feel good. Wine always gave me asthma from the whatever that.
Wine does give me a headache.
Yeah, and my face bloats, and and I'm actually trying to lose. I've lost 8 pounds, and so I'm trying to drop to another 10.
Well, I never drink at home, which is weird because everyone I know does. And so I only drink out, and it's really not every week or not every day. So I guess I've cut it down. I mean, you know what the problem is? I was just talking to this girl who's coming over here tonight, and she's like, "What do you want to do after dinner?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I usually just drink. I don't because I don't know what to do if I'm not drinking. I don't know how to do. I only know how to go to bars, and not just to get drunk or anything. I just don't know what else to do as an adult."
Well, it's funny because Godfrey was like, Marina's like not on this planet anymore. Like he was making fun of me because I'm not very social. But here's the thing, it's not that I'm not social. I just don't drink, so I don't go to bars, like
But
you
you're
just
so
said.
social. I mean, when you come to the bar with me and your sister or something or whatever the times we've been there, I didn't even know you didn't drink. So you can't say that. You're completely social. I
Thank
would
you.
never have guessed until you just told me right now that you don't drink. I thought you're at that bar, maybe have a glass of wine or something. I just never noticed, which is the
I am,
best.
however, very high.
Oh, well, maybe that's something. But what I'm saying is, I've never noticed you not drinking. So you do it the perfect way.
And people don't know I'm high sometimes either because I have.
You don't bring down my buzz, and I don't know you're high sometimes either. Remember when I guessed when we talked the other day, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
"How
figured it
high are
out.
you right now?" But you were repeating stuff. But yeah, I never know whether you're high. You handle it pretty well, really
Yeah,
well.
when you called me out in that moment, I was like, eh. You're right. You're right.
But no, there's nothing better than somebody who doesn't drink and doesn't ruin your buzz when you're out with them at a bar. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
Like that's the best kind of person.
Keith Robinson loves to like it's funny because he just started drinking, I would say maybe 10 years ago, really, when he started going swirl and all
What do you
this.
mean he started drinking?
Wanda was like, you need to have a drink so you can hang out because you need to relax,
He never
because
drank
he
before?
never really drank before.
Do you
No.
think that caused his strokes? The
No,
timeline.
that's not what caused his strokes.
Oh.
I don't think.
Well,
But
the timeline kind of works. It's he never had strokes before he was drinking. I mean, I know he's older and all that kind of stuff, but it's kind of interesting.
Jamie Foxx, by the way,
What's
still in
going
the
on with him?
hospital.
Still, what do you think it is? Does anybody know?
It's got to be serious if it's
But
this
like, what
long.
is it? Like a
No
medical
one know.
condition or
They're saying it's a stroke,
oh, a stroke?
but nothing is confirmed. But he's still in there, which is not a good sign. Um, so prayers to his family. I hate saying that because it's so empty saying
So
prayers to his
empty,
family,
so empty.
right?
My
It's like
friend at
what
work's
else
mother
can
just
you
died,
say?
and they're all just saying prayers, prayers, and I'm like, I'm not going to say that. I'll call the person, and what else can you say? Say nothing, unless you
Well,
know the
no, you have
person.
to say something.
In fact, I just watched Sarah's stepmother's funeral online on Wednesday.
You watched it online?
Yeah,
You were
I'm
invited?
just it's just a couple of people. I mean, it wasn't like a thing.
Oh,
Like
I
Jeff
mean,
sent me the link.
it was online, huh?
Well, I think Laura's husband just had a phone and put it up for a couple of people.
It's really sad.
There was like 15 people on. Well, she was older. What's sad is how the father reacted to her dying in a completely selfish,
Oh,
manner.
don't talk about that here. Everyone can hear it. You don't want to put his business out there.
No, I'm just saying this happens a lot when, that's the thing. It's very odd. It's very rare when the wife dies first. So,
Yes.
I mean, look at where my mother is. I haven't seen one guy at that place. Not one. There
Yeah,
must
men don't
be a
last.
couple. I think what happens is the men, if a man is alive, the woman usually is too, and then they're a couple, so they can kind of take care of each other, I guess. And they won't go to a home or something. Maybe they stay in their own home because there's two of them. But it's just kind of weird that there's two men to every 50 women there.
Oh, I'm never going to find a man, am I?
No, it's over for you. But I think a lot of you still have a chance, and I'm talking to you, Mr. and Mrs. Front Porch.
I've said it perfectly on stage. I've been trying to work on this bit for a while about dating when you're older. And I was like, I just need a man around, like in case I trip. I need someone to see it. That's it.
You're right.
That's it. That's it. And of course, probably someone's going to take this.
I get
from me.
nervous about that too, being alone. I mean, obviously the worst thing happened to me 20 years ago exactly anyway when I fell on that table, but you always wonder about choking or something like that when you're alone.
Yeah.
It's the sad part about living alone.
I've actually have you ever choked by yourself and was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you have to relax, and that's almost impossible to do when you can't breathe. I've swallowed ice before where it's blocking my way and I'm like, all right, I just have to relax because that's going to take care of itself. But to relax is
hard. Yeah.
hard,
In the
really hard.
moment, like a long piece of like strong kale lodged in my throat this week. I was like, "Oh. Okay."
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it is scary. It's like the blowjob I never wanted.
I realize I guess I'm not, or maybe I can't, I'm not gay, but I'm always curious if
Yes,
maybe
you
I am.
are. Come
Right.
on.
Well, here's the problem that even if I was, apparently Sarah just bought me a tongue scraper and I almost threw up from it. So
well,
I guess I won't be able to be a great gay guy.
Well, the
My
tongue
gag reflexes.
the tongue scraper is supposed to prevent the gag reflex.
Well, it doesn't. I guess I put it back. It was just in the middle of my tongue, and I totally almost threw up after brushing my teeth. It was like I could.
It's not
feel
good
it all
then.
day.
It's not a good one. You got to get one of those that's open to clean your tongue. My tongue's got coffee on it right now.
It's like it looks like this. It looks like this. I go like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
This is what Sarah bought me, and she's the queen of hygiene. I didn't know what a tongue scraper even looked like. I just wanted one because it was like the one thing missing from my, teeth cleaning daily routine.
Yeah, it's important to clean your tongue.
Well, no, this isn't a tongue scraper. But
no, that's not, but it should be for him. All right, Juskow. Read our reviews, or do you have any?
Oh, no, you didn't. Did you set me up? I forgot. I'm sorry. Are you mad?
No, it's okay.
I usually prepare in advance, and
Evelyn's not here, so she does the great job of doing it. So
she does a crappy job of doing it.
You watch your mouth.
I feel like I could. I mean, I could just do the job she does, which is just looking at her phone. I usually print it out.
I know you do. You do a pretty. You had a whole.
Well, you know why? Because I take it very serious, and I kind of want her job of doing that every week. You can't.
Look,
but she's
TV
so boring when
Evelyn.
she does it.
We miss Evelyn. They miss you, Evelyn.
Who misses Evelyn? No, they don't.
TV misses Evelyn.
She's dull. Peter thinks she's dull.
Tamara wants to know why you keep doing that. She asked me at the farmer's market. She's like, "Oh, Dave,
doing what? The Peter thinks he's dull thing
with Evelyn."
Oh, look, I don't like Evelyn. I'm sorry.
Mike likes Evelyn too.
He's just saying that. It doesn't mean I don't find Evelyn attractive.
Look, there's a vote now. There's a vote going out. 95% of the people on here love Evelyn.
No, they don't. They're just saying they find her attractive. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Cap locks too. Yes, we do.
They're just saying that to be polite. Nobody wants to say, like, oh, I don't like somebody. But I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, he does.
Until next week when she goes, I heard you're talking shit about me. Then I get terrified.
Dave, stop being creepy, says TB. Stop.
Okay, so here are some of the comments. There are
okay, let me give you a reaction. Yay!
Apparently, no one liked the show last week.
Oh, God.
This is off.
Stop singing.
This is amazing guest. Thank you for this conversation. Oh, sorry, that was from you.
That was
your own comment on the show. I didn't realize. I was looking at Marina Franklin. I'm like,
It's just me, like,
I guess why don't people leave? Where do they usually leave comments?
on Apple Podcasts,
Oh, on Apple Podcasts. I was just looking at
like
Instagram.
iTunes. It used to be called iTunes. Now it's called Apple Podcasts.
Oh, I don't have
I know
that.
recently
No.
someone asked me to go to someone's service. I would go to Sarah's mother or whoever if they asked. But there was someone recently they asked me to go to their mother's service and my I said I had to make soup, so I wasn't available. I have the writer's strike too. I have the writer's
Oh, how do you
strike.
feel about that writer strike? Well, you're involved, but
It's
to
sad.
most of
Oh
us
my
that,
god.
just work our regular jobs, it just seems we're not going to have any sympathy. It's really
What are you
difficult
talking about? You
because
don't
we know writers
what
make
do
a
you
lot
how
of
do you
money.
they don't with streaming? Do you know how much money they got cut back?
Again,
You
you're
don't
talking from a place where you're not talking about a normal person.
no
I get what you're saying, but it's always going to
no
look
you don't know the numbers.
okay.
Well, you know the numbers?
It doesn't matter. It
You
doesn't
it
matter what
does
the
matter.
numbers are.
Do you,
What I'm
okay,
trying to
so
say
look
is to the normal person, when these people are talking from Hollywood and writing on these
no, we're
shows and
talking
these,
about people who have been screwed for years,
I'm sure,
Dave.
but it
We're
just
talking
doesn't
about
look
new
that way to the
hires.
rest of normal people.
Well,
They'll
guess
never
what?
understand.
Normal people, you have to respect people's jobs. This is also about greedy people, Dave. The corporations have never lost any money. You know how much
We
money they're
understand that.
making billions and billions of
No, we
dollars. Okay.
understand that.
And Chris Rock himself said it. If they could pay us less, they would.
I'm sure.
Dave, we know the industry has shifted and the writers get screwed on the streaming as the other stuff dries up. So, boom.
I will say people did not like the Stephanie Johnson interview.
What'd they say?
They said she sounds boring and pretentious. Oh no, this is a comment on me. I'm sorry. Um, no, I can't find any comments. I don't know.
Maybe there's nothing. Maybe because it's so perfect that no one needs to
You
say
know what? I think
anything.
that's
Is
exactly
that
what it is.
possible?
Yeah.
It's possible. I'll tell you what, on the Next Door app today, which I always go on to see people complaining. There's a woman who talked about a creepy guy who pulled out his penis in a park, but then she showed a picture of 5 black men sitting on a park bench. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's horrible," until there was one person who was like, "So there was one guy who was creepy and you decided to show a picture of 5 black men just randomly sitting on a park bench? Like you criminalized these 5 black men sitting on a park bench because you were horrified about one black guy who did something and you call the police and she says the police did nothing." I love the Nextdoor app to just watch people go back and forth and back and forth. Nextdoor is just brilliant for that. Yes, the TV. Without writers, there is nothing to watch. And I do too. I love that Drew Barrymore pulled out of hosting the MTV Movie and TV Awards
Oh, she did?
in solidarity
No.
with the writers. How about The View, though?
Wow.
Like, The View is still going on, and they have writers that are striking. It's weird that The View is still going, and they have
Bye,
writers
DJ.
that have left. Is that like crossing the picket line?
I think so.
Oh, bye, DJ Eric Prince. Have fun on your set tonight. You guys watch DJ Eric Prince.
What were they just saying about somebody who they all hate as a writer? Somebody said it in your chat room. The writers hate this one person.
Someone said it?
It was. Like, we know they hate Katherine Heigl, but I wonder who the new person was. I could have sworn I just saw it when we started the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing without the writers. The
Everybody knows that,
saddest
though.
part, the saddest part of this is the people who were in production of shows that were recently almost going to network to be giving
That hap-
notes.
that's happened to me before. This is like the third writer's strike in my lifetime, or fourth, and I had one thing going, and it totally fell apart because of the writer's strike.
Because of the
So
writer's strike, because
maybe that's one of the reasons I, don't care.
they wipe the slate clean, right?
They
Isn't
sure
that what
do.
they do?
They definitely do.
So what does that mean? That means that if you're a person who's like for example, like if let's say when I sold a show to FX, we're doing notes back and forth, it's still going on. That means like after the strike is over, they go, sorry, we have to
It's
start over.
something that could happen.
I mean, I'm not
unfortunately.
no longer with, but I'm just saying that's what happens.
That's what happens a lot. Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you can't be married to one idea. You have to have a few ideas when you go out, because that hurts. I mean, you know what? When you sell a show, when you're pitching a show, years and years go by. By the time that show is developed, your hair is gray. You don't lost your teeth. You put on 50 pounds. It's like the whole original idea of the show is no longer like. Let's say, I hope we don't get something worse than reality TV, which is what the previous strike gave us. Yes. And Tamara enjoys Next Door. Yeah, they be fighting on Next Door. By the way, on Next Door, I moderate the comments. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I get to vote that this comment was rude and needs to be
Oh,
deleted.
you do?
Yep.
You're one of those?
Well, they asked they
I
voted
like
for me
this,
to do it.
Sarah character. She seems to be talking my language.
What's happening?
I like this Sarah girl. Where's she from?
Sarah, where are you from? Is it striking worth it anymore? It's like protesting. Well, I guess what's happening is you're just not working. So like going out and marching, I think, I don't know if that's worth it. Like walking around. I don't know. I personally like just don't go in.
I don't know. I always think of that What's Happening episode where Raj organized a strike, but then he had to go on the picket line because he needed the money. I always think of that episode.
Wait, which episode of which one?
What's Happening?
Oh,
I remember that as a kid.
I talked to someone last night who was like, now I'm not in the Writers Guild, but I don't cross the picket line. But the whole time they were saying it, I was like, if you really want to, though, I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah. But that
Look at
episode,
this. Sarah saying I would still collect my check and work, but try to fight back in another way. That's crossing the picket line. Sorry, Sarah.
or the Dave Attell all white version of What's Happening.
Sarah,
It's called, excuse me, is there anything going on here, fellas?
All right, we do have to get out. I have early shows tonight. Last night I was on so late. Even the guys in the subway were like, "What is going on? You're never on this late." So
Yeah, well, I saw that. Why were you on so late? I noticed that.
I don't know. Maybe I talked about dry vagina once on stage, and they were
Oh,
like,
and Esty does not
"Oh,
like
nothing,
that.
no dry vagina talk before 11
I thought we
a.m."
already talked about that. No, she does not care for it.
I hear the Teamsters are refusing to
Although
cross the
then, how
line.
does Yamanika get work?
No,
Isn't that her
it's just
entire act?
it is not. It has nothing to do with that. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
you making my pussy dry.
It has nothing to do with that. It just is like sometimes the
It's the funniest
schedule.
thing I'd ever
I'm very satisfied with where I was last night. Actually, to tell you the truth, best audiences. Remember last week I was pissed. This week, oh my god. I don't know why 1 week it's the rain, I guess. The weather. People are just in a better mood.
That's true. But then you're on my show next Monday, the 15th, at the Comedy Cellar. I'm very looking forward to that. I just added Caitlin Palufo. I hope that's okay.
Caitlin. I know Caitlin.
She's good. She does a good job.
She's the one. She does a lot of Instagram stuff, right? Wait,
she's
I
young,
know
so
Caitlin.
maybe
She is good. I think this is the one I really like. No way. Yes, moderating comments. I love moderating comments. You have no idea how I love just sitting through the comments and going,
we know.
Nope. My neighbor actually told me that the owner of the restaurant recently was like, why doesn't she like me? And was like, she still goes at me. Because like 311 is my friend.
You still go at that the restaurant, the people in your.
Whenever I walk by, I look for everything. I keep them on their toes.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
I keep them on their toes.
Speaking of the 20th century, here their Century 21 is coming back downtown.
I saw that. How is that when everything else is like Bed Bath and Beyond?
I know, right?
Closing stores.
So weird. I don't know. It's weird.
Anyway, do you have anything else to mention before I
No,
go?
just next Monday, but we'll be here next Saturday to promote that. But otherwise, Juskow in the City, one of the greatest podcasts of all time, and my Tuesday Comedy Cellar show at 6:00 on YouTube. Please feel free to join that as well.
Yes, and Marina Franklin here. Just go to my website, marinayfranklin.com, to find out about that school fundraiser that I was talking about earlier. Is a great way if you cannot make it because the tickets are sold out. Tickets, I will let you know. By the way, if you send me a message or if you email me, I will reserve a seat for you. I get at least 5 seats, and then there's 10 seats that go to the public. So get on it.
Send off like Evelyn.
If you just want to donate money
at reductress.com. I will be having an article and a show at the Jewish Museum. I'm going to show this. She's going to kill me. She's going to kill me.
Oh my God. Anyway, make sure you follow us. All things, it's in the comments, it's in the description where to listen to the podcast. And Sarah, thank you for joining us. You are a nice, lovely new addition.
Yeah.
Your views are very unique, and we appreciate you for joining us. Yes, it's necessary. We need you here. So thank you. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to wear your mask still if you want, even though the CDC woman, I think she just quit.
I've heard May 11th, the pandemic's over.
No, they just officially said it's no longer a global threat. However, still wear your mask if you want to.
Right. Wear the mask, wash your hands.
Wash your hands and all that. And
I said it.
Wear your mask, wash your hands, and Black Lives Matter.
I thought you'd be thrilled. I said I've never. What?
You're mocking.
And now your audio's out. Say it again.
You were mocking.
Oh, I don't think I was. I wouldn't mock with that.
Oh, good.
I was trying to do the right thing.
Good one, Juskow. You're learning.
Well, that's one you don't want to fool around with. I mean, maybe I don't believe it. I'm just saying that I just, oops.
All right, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.